If you're going to have an on-site meeting, you don't have to pre-mark in white. Just like I said, why would you? You're actually, having a meeting with everybody. If you're replacing a pole within 5 feet of the existing pole, you do not have to pre-mark in white. And if your marks are going to be confusing to pedestrians or vehicular traffic, they do not want you to pre-mark in white. Putting an arrow out in the middle of the road, pointing, somebody can construe that as a right turn. So
mark the entire property sounds like the best deal right now.
No.
I've tried to describe stuff to you guys. Forget it.
Right.
It's by the time it's all said and done, it's a heck of a lot easier to say entire property.
Right.
And if you're lucky, you'll get a good, competent person out there that's got your cell phone number that's on that ticket and call you up directly. And they're on site and they see exactly what you're talking about. Then it's easy.
Right.
But somebody off in Youngstown,
they're just looking at a map.
They're looking at a map with a box and they're like,
right.
Okay.
They don't. I mean, we do have photography areas, like shows the actual map. We don't use Google Maps, but yes, we do have satellite imagery. What's that?
You should.
Actually, Google Maps. I'll just let you know this, okay? Our mapping is one of the top of the line in the state. Okay, we actually had Ohio State University come to our center to see how our maps work because it was a lot better than theirs. Google Maps, you could say that they're good, but
well,
depending.
What's the link to your maps then?
We actually walk the system. We actually go out and do the GPSing ourselves.
Well, what's the link, man?
What's that?
What's the link?
It's our in-house stuff.
Yeah. Well, tell me about
it. So, but with the remote ticket entry stuff,
yeah.
If you go through the ID program, you have the ability on that programming to actually take a GPS coordinate. It'll get you pinpoint within 500 feet of your actual location. Then you can physically put in all the information from that. So, you could describe your, putting in the actual information yourself. Yes.
Entire property.
What's that?
Entire property.
If you do enroll into the iDig program, once you're in there, does it bring you up the photography that you're...
Yes. It brings up the mapping of the actual area, yes. So basically, if you go out to somebody's house, say you're bidding a job or whatnot, or you got the job and now you're calling us to get the utilities located. You go onto iDig after you go through the training or whatnot, push the GPS coordinates. Like I said, will pinpoint you within 500 feet. Then it brings it up on the map. You don't know the area, you don't know the cross streets or whatnot, but with that map, now you can see all the cross streets and all the information right there. So now you know all the information to input into the actual ticket. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
You're talking about it's 46 hours that they go out and mark. Are we clear after 48 and they're not marked? Are we liable still after that?
Well, that's the law states after 48 hours, if nothing's marked, it's deemed to be cleared. But it goes back to doing that site assessment. Okay, then you're in that gray area. Are you going to take the chance or not? But if you go onto our website and check that positive response to see, you might not see no flags out there. Well, why don't I see any flags? Well, you go on there to see if the utilities, just cleared the ticket. There is nothing there for them,
Well, they usually leave a clear ticket if that's the case.
Well, you might not see that anymore, okay? It's not required for them to do that.
Really?
Right. That's just a courtesy thing that they did, okay? I came from locating service, okay? So I know the ins and outs as far as that was, but that's money that they don't have to spend anymore because now they have this positive response stuff where the actual caller can check to see what they did with the ticket. So the clear flags might go away. They might not, time, or material and cost for that flag. So, universal marking standards, we covered that. It's all in the excavator manual here. Positive response, we covered that. Go onto our website, check your ticket, after the 48 hours to see who responded to it, the ticket. Limited base participants, like I said, prior to July 1st, we asked you to directly, call them directly. As of now, you do not have to do that. So you will not be, they won't give you that list of, people that you need to notify. Now, on the ticket, if they see a LBP, they will, tell you, here's all the utilities we notified. This is a LBP. With a LBP, it throws the positive response back into their court now. They can't respond through our system, okay? They will not be listed on the actual positive response page when you check it, okay? So whenever they do read the utilities back to you, if they say they're a LBP, then that means they have to get back to you directly of what they did with the ticket. We're trying to get all LBPs as full members, okay? Basically, so until, there's some teeth in the law, we don't know how they're going to respond to the actual positive response, getting back to you directly, okay? Trenchless Technologies. Does anybody in here use directional boring or whatnot? Okay. This is a big change. All this stuff came from your actual, your respected best practices book, okay? Have I been up here this long?
No.
Basically, with this Trenchless Technologies, you're supposed to dig down at the beginning and at the end of your job down to the depth of installation. You're supposed to expose all the way down to depth of installation. If you're crossing a utility, boring underneath a utility, you're supposed to dig down to depth of installation, okay? If you're running parallel with the existing utility within the tolerance zone, you're supposed to, every 100 feet, dig down to the depth of installation to make sure you're on course. And your best practicing with Trenchless Technologies, it's asked every 50 feet. So they moved it out to every 100 feet to ensure that you're actually still following your actual transmitter. The other thing in the law that people don't understand, you have to maintain a 12-inch clearance from existing utilities, okay? So if you're running at 30 inches and you go out there, pothole 30 inches, and you're crossing a utility, but you ain't found that utility yet, it's not within the 30 inches, you still have to go down another 12 inches to see if you're going to maintain that 12-inch clearance. That's in another part of the law. Okay, that's been in there since day one. But so until you see that facility, you don't know if you're going to maintain that 12-inch clearance or not. Okay. Any other questions on Trenchless Technologies? Excavator training. It is now by law you have to be excavator trained. Guess what? You've been trained. Okay. So basically, I don't know how they're monitoring this or whatnot. Like I said, there's no teeth in the law yet or whatnot, but by just sitting through this presentation, you've been excavator trained. If you're a member of an organization, they deemed you be trained or whatnot. So
do we get like a gold star or something?
I'll give you a sticker.
All right.
I got 4-inch and 2-inch.
All right.
2-inch are still out.
I go 4-inch. I go all the way.
Large projects. Large projects is a new ticket. Okay. Basically, this is new to me. The excavators are to provide project timelines to facility owners. Once a mutual agreement upon marking schedule is determined, the original marking and notification requirements no longer apply. So basically, with a large project, the excavator will call us, ask for a meat ticket or a large project ticket. What that is just a description of the project and time and place they want to meet all facility owners, to hash out a new marking stand or marking timeline. After the meeting is held and they came to a mutual agreement as far as say it's a 10-mile project, okay? They break it up in segments, first segments to, say 10 segments. We're going to work on this for the first 2 weeks, work on this section, and proceed. Well, everything is going off of that mutual agreement. So if you're ever into one of these large projects, I suggest you to write or record everything that's been, said in the actual meeting, because we will not be there. There's no, documentation that is back to us. So it's just, like I said, it's between he said, she said deal, if ever anything comes down to being in the court system. So after that's all hashed out, the excavator will then call us for an actual dig notice, okay? The actual 48-hour notice thing. But as far as the marking timeline, that was already hashed out, okay? So the 48 hours is now in void, okay? They don't have to follow the 48-hour deal because they already hashed out a timeline of being marked out. All the tickets are referred back to the actual meat ticket or the large project ticket. So when he calls it in, he'll say this is in reference to this ticket number, okay? Like I said, they became a mutual agreement. And once, excavation begins and whatnot, the utilities will mark according to that actual meeting and how the timeline is supposed to progress.
We have two projects like that going on. Use that same ticket all through the project. They both
Every time that you need to call us, you refer back to that large project ticket. Okay, this is a reference to this project, this meat ticket. So, any other questions about large projects? I think that's it. Okay. Any questions in general? Yes.
Can you speak to the private service line versus this service line, main service lines found in the right of way? What is their actual, the utility company's responsibility toward a private line and this found in the right?
Utility companies are responsible to mark what they own and operate. Okay? So basically, anything as far as like Dominion, okay, they'll mark all the way up to the meter. Okay, if the meter's at the house, they'll mark up to the house. If they, meter's out in the front yard, they're going to mark to the, the meter in the front yard. That stuff going to the house behind the meter is private. There. Same way with electric, they mark up to the meter themselves. So the responsibility of the utility is only to mark what they own and operate. Okay, good. The best example is the water. Okay, from the tap, from the curb to the house is you talk to any water department, it's a responsibility of the homeowner. Same way with the loop or the lateral for the sewer.